What's up, guys? I know I haven't made a video in a little bit because I've been doing things. So I decided I was going to buy my very first motorcycle. And I had no idea how expensive it could get just to ride a motorcycle. Let's take this for example. I'm paying $3,500 for my bike. But that's not including, that's just the bike. You still have to get it legal, which is just like normal cars and stuff like that. You still have to get those legal when you buy them. But the gear alone to ride, and if you're an experienced rider, you may get away with not riding with a whole lot of gear. But if you're inexperienced, like me, you want protective gear because inevitably, eventually, you're going to either drop that bike or you are going to spill it somewhere. You may hit a slick patch in the road, you may hit gravel, someone could be mowing their grass and throwing the grass all in the street. It could be leaves, it could be a number of factors into this that could cause you to spill this motorcycle. Now, for my first bike, I decided to go with a Kawasaki Vulcan 900. It's decently powered, but not so powered. Not so overpowered that a first-time rider like myself can't control this bike. That also being said, I started looking up motorcycle gear because I want to protect myself while I ride. And here in Missouri, they passed the law that you do not have to ride with a helmet anymore. If you have a certain kind of coverage on your insurance. So if you live in Missouri, you'll notice that you'll see a lot of people riding around their bikes without helmets and all that stuff. That's because they passed a law saying you don't have to anymore. But for a first-time rider, I highly, highly recommend that you ride with a helmet, just like I'm going to do. That being said, like I said, I was looking up gear, and the total expense at a minimum of the kind of gear I'm going to need for this motorcycle, I'm looking at about $510. Now, you can get away with cheaper gear if you want, or less gear. You can just get the jacket, the helmet, and try to get away with that. But for me, I would rather have gear that is armored just in case. That brings me to the topic of what type of gear you want. Don't go with anything pleather. Don't go with anything thin. You want real leather. Leather is going to tear before your skin does. Okay? Pleather will tear and then your skin will tear. It's not leather, okay? Pleather's fake leather. So if you want a real riding jacket, you want to go with either cowhide or buffalo leather. That would be the thickest type of leather to get. It'd be the best type of leather to get. However, it's not cheap. The cheapest one I found so far was on Amazon, and it was made out of buffalo leather, and they want about $150 for it. Same goes with the boots. You want to be able to protect your feet because your feet are generally the first thing that hits the ground before you do. Remember, if you're going at speed and you feel your bike start to tumble, your first instinct is to put your foot down. Don't do that. Because the first thing that's going to happen is your foot's going to hit the ground. It's going to stay stationary, but your bike's going to keep going, which could result in severe road rash or your back tire running over your foot. So leather is very, very important. It's also very important to get gear that is armored for your elbows, shoulders, knees. That's going to help you out a lot, especially if you somehow end up spilling this bike. Like I said, first time rider, so I'm taking every precaution I can. As I progress in riding and get more confident with it, maybe then I can lighten up on the gear. Probably won't though. I'm paranoid. So if you're an experienced rider and you're watching this video, and you make content yourself, do a stitch of this and informing first time riders of what to look out for and what not to look out for. Things that you should do versus things that you shouldn't do. Not only will it help me out by seeing what you guys say, but it'll help other first time riders out who may not know the ropes of riding a bike. It doesn't matter if you ride a sport bike, if you ride a dual sport, if you ride a cruiser bike, it doesn't matter. I would love to hear your comments on it, on things you should and shouldn't do. Or if you want to, just leave it in the comments. Comment on what you've learned, things that's happened to you, and things you wish you would have known when you first started riding a bike. I would really appreciate it. Leave me a like. Leave me a follow if you want to. Y'all have a good day.